Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. So, today's an unexpected rumour, isn't it? Jarrod Bowen to Liverpool. That's correct. The Athletic are reporting that Liverpool want Jarrod Bowen. Assuming they sell Shaqiri and or Rodriguez, Jurgen Klopp apparently admires Jarrod Bowen so much he may be one of their replacements at Anfield. Now, when I first read it, I had to read it 2, 3, even 4 times to make sure I've read it correctly. That Liverpool want Jarrod. Right, yeah, okay, I've got it. It caught me by surprise because it's unexpected, isn't it? Initially, I did what a lot of people did, probably, which is no chance. No chance is Jarrod Bowen good enough to go into a side that wants to win the title, playing in the Champions League. Not a chance. The more I thought about it, I almost convinced myself that this rumour might be true. And the reason is because Jarrod Bowen's best position is on the right of a front three. It was at Hull, it is at West Ham. Basically where Mo Salah plays for Liverpool, right wing, you want to letters for a bit of paper, RW, right wing, that position. If Liverpool aren't looking for someone to come in and bench Mo Salah, it's impossible. There isn't such a player, and if there is, he'll cost about 100 million or something. That's the last position, first team position if you like, that Liverpool are looking to recruit for. So they're not trying to find someone that's going to get in the team ahead of Mo Salah. What they're trying to do here is find someone to replace Shaqiri. Someone that's as good as or better than Shaqiri, or even just fits the way Jurgen Klopp likes to play football better than Shaqiri. So the question isn't, is Jarrod Bowen good enough for Liverpool's starting 11? Though he's not, because that's where Mo Salah plays. He's not good enough to replace Mo Salah. The question is Jarrod Bowen better than or equal to Shaqiri? I think he is. I don't mean Shaqiri of Switzerland. That's cheating. He's a different animal. I'm talking Shaqiri of Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp. And I think Bowen's better than that. I think he would provide a better option for Jurgen Klopp next season at Liverpool. Because at Switzerland, they can put Shaqiri in his best position. They can build attack around him if he has to. We've seen that happen time and time again. And he looks amazing for Switzerland. But Liverpool aren't going to do that. Liverpool are never going to put Shaqiri in his best position. Of course he does when it's rotation, if Salah's missing or there's a cup game or something. And so Jarrod Bowen can expect to hardly ever play in his best position at Liverpool. But is he a better option than Shaqiri? I think he is when you take everything into consideration. He's homegrown, his age, similar position, similar style. I think he ticks a lot of boxes for Jurgen Klopp actually. But before we get into it a bit more, I just want to point you in the direction of our sponsor, OneFootball. The link is in the description and the pinned comment, so get it downloaded. If you're a Liverpool fan, get it downloaded as well. You download the app, you click on the app once it's downloaded, and you select your favourite things, the things that you want to follow. So it can be the Premier League, Liverpool, West Ham. Get it followed and keep up to date with all the latest news. Once you've got it, you click on the news, you click on your club's badge, then you get a news feed for that day. Everything you need is there. The transfer gossip, and there's plenty of it, including Jarrod Bowen to Anfield, the Jesse Lingard stuff, the Declan Rice stuff is rumbling on at the minute, Jordan Henderson for Liverpool, that contract situation, that's in there as well. Keep up to date with it all. Of course, you've got the injury news, you've got friendlies kicking off at the minute. West Ham take on Reading tonight, so expect plenty of articles on the app about the friendly, whether before or after you watch the game. Get it downloaded, links in the description and the pinned comments. Now back to today's rumour, Jarrod Bowen to Anfield. Like I said, initially I dismissed it, but the question isn't so much, is it, like I've done the Liverpool thing, I still don't really believe, while I've convinced myself he might be an alternative for Shaqiri, I've dismissed it a little bit because of price, to be honest with you, because that becomes a question. How much would West Ham want? I don't know, I'm speculating here, maybe 30, 35 million. We signed him for 20 million. I think that would be a nice tidy profit for the club, and that's too much for Liverpool. You can't pay 30, 35 million for a player that's not really going to get into the first team, that's going to be a bit part player kind of thing. So I just don't see that happening. But I thought I was a bit disappointed in some of the disrespect shown towards Jarrod from some of the Liverpool fans. Not all of them, but some of them on social media. Because when I clicked on the rumour and read, I like to gauge people's reactions a little bit just to see if they're thinking what I'm thinking, especially for other clubs. So if I'm reading news about, say, Crystal Palace signing a player, I want to read Crystal Palace fans' thoughts, not a West Ham fans' players' thoughts. Anyway, so when I was reading him, there's a lot of Liverpool fans turn their nose up at him, and I don't know if it's because it's Jarrod Bowen or because he's a West Ham player and they feel like they're too good for that, they're shopping in Aldi or something. And I just thought it was a bit harsh considering that Andy Robertson, they signed from Hull City, Van Dijk signed from Southampton, their captain Jordan Henderson signed from Sunderland, last summer they signed Jota from Wolves. So their squad, there's a lot of players that they've gone to the lesser sides in the Premier League, the smaller sides in the Premier League, and they've bought their better players, put them together and built a team out of them, and they've gone on to win the league and the Champions League. Like I said, is Bowen good enough to get in start? No, I'm not saying that, but on the squad ahead of Shaqiri, I think he is. However, I'm going to play my own devil's advocate here. I've always said everybody's for sale, and I stand by that. I stand by it. If Liverpool wanted Jarrod Bowen, I think they get it, because it's not the same, but it's similar, which is we can't say we won't stand in the way of Declan Rice leaving, because if he wants to go on and win trophies, so on and so forth, we'll let him go, but they've just got to pay the price. I think you've got to apply the same to Jarrod Bowen here, because it is Liverpool. It's a side that has, there's maybe 3-4 teams at most competing for the title next season. Liverpool is one of them. Liverpool will be competing for numerous trophies. You can't stand in the way of that. Champions League football. So it comes down to price. But the difference with Jarrod Bowen and, say, Issa Diop, if someone wanted Diop, say, right, 25 million, let's get him going kind of thing. The difference with Bowen is he's the perfect player for Moyes, isn't he? He is the perfect player for David Moyes. He takes literally everything that Moyes looks for in an attacking player. And I know Moyes subs him a lot and stuff, but it doesn't mean Moyes doesn't love him or need him around the squad. And I thought he had a decent season last season, Jarrod. I thought he was good. 7 out of 10 maybe. I expected a bit better, if I'm honest with you. And that's not meant to be me complaining about him. If anything, that's a compliment to Jarrod Bowen. I thought he would be like a Hammer of the Year contender, because I know he's got that ability. The 6 months that we had him, signed him in January the season before in the relegation battle, I thought he was superb. He was a big part of the reason we stayed up. Last season he did alright. Next season I'm hoping he kicks on further and becomes an important part of our player, because at the minute he's an important part of the squad, but he's not irreplaceable, is he? You were to write down your first 5-6 names on the team sheet for West Ham. I don't think you put Bowen on it. I think you'll start with Ogbonna, you put Soufal in there, and then you'll put Souček, Rice, Antonio, Fornals. I don't think you put Jarrod Bowen on it. But if I do this video in a year's time, I expect Jarrod Bowen to be one of those names that I read out there. But I do think he's the perfect player for Moyes. And I think sometimes Bowen is almost like his own worst enemy, because at times, the second half of the season, last season, I felt like we sacrificed Jarrod Bowen a lot to get the best out of Jesse Lingard. I felt we put Lingard central in the number 10 role, and he didn't have as much defensive duties as other players may have in that position. And the reason for that, one of the reasons for that, is having Bowen and Pablo Fornals either side of him. Apologies for the noise. I've got the window open, obviously. It is hot. I am not recording this video in a room with no windows at the minute, so I'd gauged it. I thought, now looks like a good time. I'll sit down and do a video. I've got 8 minutes in and a motorbike goes past. But anyway, apologies for hurting your ears there. But what I was saying, I think he's a victim of his own success, Jarrod Bowen, because I think he works so hard off the ball that Moyes it allows Moyes to have someone in almost a free role, you want to call that. Lingard wasn't quite like that. He had to get back and track back. But there was a lot of times last season when Jesse didn't do that. Jesse wasn't running back as much as Bowen or Fornals or even Said Benrahma at times. And I think to get the best out of Jesse Lingard, because we saw the best out of Jesse Lingard, 9 goals, 4 assists in 16 games is incredible. But to get the best out of Jesse, you do what we basically did what Switzerland sometimes do with Shaqiri. We put Jesse Lingard in and build it around him. And I felt a big part of that was having Fornals and Jarrod Bowen as the legs, if you want, on the sides of the pitch. They were doing the tracking back, they were doing the defensive work, the work off the ball, in order to get the best out of Lingard on the ball. And I don't think we've seen the best out of Jarrod Bowen at West Ham. I don't know if we ever will under David Moyes. That's not a dig at Moyes, it's because Jarrod Bowen works so hard. The friendlies have been somewhat encouraging. He's been by a long distance. Jarrod Bowen has been our best player so far in pre-season. I know you can't read too much into it pre-season, but what pre-season does give you is indicators. It gives you clues, it gives you a little sneaky peek into some things. And when you're watching Jarrod Bowen, whether it's against Dundee or Northampton, you're watching him, you're thinking, this guy's up for it, this guy is out to impress in pre-season, and he has been impressing. Anyway, I'm going to start rounding this one up. Like I said, a bit of a surprise rumour. Do I believe it? Not completely. Is he good enough for Liverpool's starting 11? No. But is he good enough to replace Shaqiri at Liverpool? I think he is, you know. I really, really do. And I'm not Jarrod Bowen's biggest fan. There's a lot bigger fans of Jarrod Bowen out there than I am. I try and be fair and honest about every single player, but I'm aware I have my favourites, Mark Noble. And there's probably some players that I don't like as much as other people, and I think I'm lukewarm with Jarrod Bowen. I think I'm in the middle of there. I think I'm probably an average Jarrod Bowen fan. That makes sense. But I do think he's better than Shaqiri. I'd rather Jarrod Bowen than Shaqiri at West Ham next season. Put it like that. I expect to see a better Jarrod Bowen next season than I did last season. But at West Ham, not Liverpool. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it, subscribe and use the channel. Make sure you download the OneFootball app. I'll catch you in a bit.